Hi everyone, you all read the title of the video, so let's get on into this. So yes, as you all, if you have been keeping up with this channel, y'all know I've done substances in the past, nothing crazy. I did Delta 8, weed only once in my life when I was like 19 for a couple months. Alcohol was number one, and then nicotine for a couple years. So that's all I've done. Because I know myself. I know I get crazy. So fit check. This is the makeup after my day of work. This is the earrings I'm wearing currently. We got the adventuring with the pearl, mother of pearl, and pearl. Okay. And then we have an amethyst ring and this beautiful dress on. So anywho, I hit 30 days sober off of everything, which I don't have a problem with nicotine. I haven't had nicotine in over a year. Weed, I never had a problem with. I would just do it every once in a while. But alcohol, that was like my baby girl. That was the love of my life. So, I'm now like a 33 days, 32 days, something like that, off of everything. And I say everything because in the past, whenever I would quit alcohol, I was still using nicotine or I was still smoking weed here and there. But now it's like I haven't had anything in 30 something days. My anxiety was really high throughout that first 30 days, but now it's like pretty low, I think, to be continued. And when I say pretty low, I mean like I still have anxiety, but like I don't have that severe anxiety. It's more manageable. Like it's still high just because I always have high anxiety. But yeah, I was going to AA for the first part of my 30 days, and then I just could not. I was going to one that really was like, believed in a God Almighty could take away your alcoholism. He, him, God Almighty. And for me personally, I just don't believe that. I don't believe God is a he, him, and I don't believe there's one God that's just all powerful. I believe there's gods and goddesses that have powers in their own lanes, and I believe there's also non-binary gods, goddesses, deities, if you will. But I don't believe there's only one God Almighty, he, him. And they said you didn't have to believe that to be in the group, because I had talked about it with them, but everybody believed in it but me. So my therapist said to look for secular, which means non-religious, AA groups. And I found one I was really interested in yesterday, and I went to it. But you see, my car had been broken into downtown, because I live in a very large city, a suburb off of a very large city. And I went downtown, and my car had gotten broken into because I didn't pay for parking, so it wasn't secure parking. And that was like the only air parking they had that was the closest. The paid parking was like 10-minute walk away, and I was alone, and the meeting was from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and I didn't want to walk 10 minutes alone at 9 p.m. downtown. No. I didn't even want to do that at 8 p.m., you know what I mean? So I did not end up attending, which was really sad because it was like LGBT and secular, so that's very up my alley. Because even though I'm bisexual and I have a boyfriend right now, I still am a huge ally of the LGBT community. I've had falling outs with most of my friends in the LGBT community. Not all of my friends. I've made new friends, but yeah, I mean, I'm still very much an ally of everything in the LGBTQ plus A community. So it's definitely something that I have, since I was like 14, I've always really stood on business and being an ally, because to me, I just don't see I don't see anything wrong with it. Because a lot of people, it's like, oh, they think it's a sin or whatever, or they think it's unnatural or whatever the fuck. But I don't view it that way. I think it's natural. I think it's beautiful. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So it's just all love, you know? It's just different types of love. And as somebody who's mentally ill, I love differently than someone who doesn't have the mental disorders I have. And I think that's why I'm able to relate so much to the LGBT community, because even though most of my relationship history has been with straight men, so I had a very straight relationship history, I still have always, been friends with gay people, bi people, whatever, part of the community. I don't know how we got onto this side tangent. Oh, yes, I do. The secular. I was like, wait, I was talking about sobriety? No, I'm not. Yes, so there's a huge accomplishment to hit those 30 days. Drinking coffee for me really helps with cravings. If you're someone who needs the caffeine boost to help with your cravings, definitely get yourself some decaf coffee to drink at night. And I'd rather drink an energy drink than alcohol at this point. So if you do need energy, like caffeine to help you, like that's okay. You can deal with the caffeine addiction later. First, you gotta get through the monster, the war of alcoholism. That's what I tell myself. So yeah, today I had went to bed really late last night. Oh, I woke up really early at like 3 in the morning, and I went to work today, so I had to have like my morning cup of coffee. I always have that. And I usually just have one other like half cup of coffee throughout the day, or 1 cup. Today I had 2 energy drinks, 2 monsters, the big ones. I was so tired, man. I'm still so tired, but I don't want to sleep. It's like I know I'm tired, but I'm like fighting it. It's interesting, but yeah, instead of, if your body's constantly wanting substances, I take a lot of vitamins for different things, mental health, physical health. I take a lot of medication for both areas as well, and I just tell myself, have faith in the medication, have faith in the vitamins. And then also how I'm eating, have faith in what I'm eating, have faith in the exercises I'm doing for mental health to ease my suffering or ease my whatever the reason I was drinking for. If I need to celebrate, I could celebrate by eating a piece of cake, like, or if I want to, I could have a smoothie, and a sweet smoothie at that. I could have like a banana strawberry smoothie or a banana chocolate smoothie, or I could have a fucking shake if I wanted to celebrate, It doesn't have to be alcohol for suffering. It doesn't have to be alcohol for celebrating. Whatever the excuse is, I don't want to just say it's an excuse because I understand how hard it is, but yeah, I mean, sobriety is quite difficult. And the thing is, I've had plenty of breaks from alcohol. I've had very low tolerances of alcohol, even when I was drinking, where I was only drinking like a drink or two and then I would be fucked up. That was more recently, where I was only drinking like up to 6 drinks a week, which is normal. It's not an alcoholic level. But for me, I just don't want any alcohol anymore because I know my history with it. And I've been taken advantage of a lot under the influence, like sexually. So for me, alcohol just has very negative vibes where I'm like, yeah, unless I'm like home alone, I don't feel safe drinking with people for the most part. And if I do, it's like I'm not gonna get fucked up because I don't feel safe enough to do that. So then it's like I'm just left to get fucked up on my own. And that seems kind of sad. Even though I wasn't sad doing that, looking at it from a different perspective than mine, it is kind of sad, you know? Like, that's kind of like lonely or what problematic. I don't know what word you want to use for that. Problematic as in like you're isolating and that's not healthy. You're isolating because you don't feel safe enough to get fucked up around other people. Like, you know, if I just cut the alcohol out, then I don't have that need to isolate to get drunk, or I don't have the need to, you know, because I went to rehab before and they said that the opposite of addiction is connection. So if I'm isolating while drinking, then the opposite of that would to be sober and connect. So literally the complete opposite. And luckily I have a really awesome roommate and we live in very close proximity to each other, as in we share the same room. We have a small apartment, so I have company quite a lot and it really helps me. And then I do have a man right now, and that's been very helpful for so many reasons. For company, for emotional support. And I'm not saying you need a partner. They don't even recommend you get a partner your first year or so of sobriety, but I did because I had known this person for years and years. And he knows my struggles and stuff, so it's not like he was brand new to me or anything. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the secular AA groups because I do find AA groups to be very helpful and a huge source of community, especially when it's like after a long day. Instead of having a drink, go to AA. That's really how you want to turn your life around. Switch drinking to go into support groups. Because they can celebrate you as well with your wins and accomplishments. So, and when you're down, they could help you as well. And if you don't want to do AA, go to like a depression support group or anxiety support group. I feel like those are pretty general. Or if you have some sort of mental disorder, you can go to that support group as well, and that'll help you a lot. Because especially if you're trying to cope with having a disorder or having really bad anxiety or having really bad depression or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's being a shopaholic. I don't know what the case may be, but finding some sort of support group for anything you deal with is always going to be very helpful. So that's all I have today. I just wanted to come on here and celebrate myself and just talk about, you know, sobriety and I guess the LGBT community. So, yeah, all right. Bye, y'all.